Nepal is one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world. Floods and landslides affect thousands every year, and a massive earthquake could strike at any time. Experts fear that this could destroy much of its cities. Nepal is the fastest urbanizing country in South Asia, but most buildings have been constructed haphazardly without considering the dangers.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-story building is here. It is also very vulnerable in case of disaster, in case of earthquake actually. If disaster like earthquake and fire occur here in this place, it is very difficult to evacuate people from the top floor to the ground and save their life.
In 2009, the Nepal government and its international development and humanitarian partners formed the Nepal Risk Reduction Consortium to address the country's vulnerability to disasters. Under separate flagship programme areas, the consortium is working to improve the safety of schools and hospitals, to strengthen the government's capacity to prepare for and respond to disasters, to manage the risk of floods in Nepal's largest river basin, and to involve communities in disaster risk reduction activities. Each of these flagships is led by an international agency and the appropriate ministry. Flagship 5 is aimed at establishing and strengthening the legislative and institutional framework within the government to minimise the creation of new risk and sustain the work of all the other flagships. It's led by the UNDP and the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Flagship 5 is basically about sustainability. It's really networking and it's a cohesion building base for the other flagships. If you can get the policy and the institutional framework right, then other elements of the flagships have long-term sustainability and they're going to be much more effective in the future. So most of the main project areas are around things like support to different government ministries about how they're going to mainstream disaster risk management into their own policies, into their own programs. It's about making sure that disaster risk management makes it into the budget. It's about working on areas like curriculum development in schools and about the longer term plan for ensuring that demographics, risk sensitive land use planning, enforcement of building codes become part of how Nepal does business in the future.
Many policies are under review and the Ministry of Home Affairs has already drawn up a new disaster management bill. This replaces a 30-year-old law that dealt with how to immediately respond to a disaster, but not with how to prepare for one.
This is the backbone of any work you do, any development work you do. You need the policy. This policy is the government vision, that how government is acting to the disaster. That's why these policies are being developed and improved.
Nepal's Planning Commission is also involved in introducing disaster risk management concepts across government in a process called mainstreaming.
The mainstream is how to incorporate these activities, the concept, plans and program in our national development plan. Our challenge is the weak implementation at the grassroots level.
But even there, progress is being made. The government has, for example, begun a program of training masons and bricklayers so that they know how to construct safer buildings.
भूकम्प आएर लड्छ भनेर त्यसको लागि आवश्यक भएर अब हामी बच्नको लागि भूकम्पले रोक्छ भूकम्पको लागि अब रोकथाम गर्नलाई त्यो आवश्यक देखेर हामीले तालिम लिएम गर्दै छौं गरिरहेका छौं.
Promoting the implementation of building codes is a crucial component for strengthening the resilience of Nepal's urban areas. So is the inclusion of the private sector in ensuring that businesses can operate and contribute to post-disaster recovery.
We have 8 million customers, so we feel that it's a huge responsibility for operator, and we are having disaster preparedness program that includes almost like we are doing everything duplicated. So if something happens in one place, we will then be able to run the systems from another location. So it's a huge program that we are doing, and it's actually also a very expensive program, but we feel that it's worth of every penny.
Flagship 5 is an ambitious attempt by the government and international partners to promote a disaster-resilient society over the long term. The work required is challenging, but vital for sustaining Nepal's development.